Shalom, this is Levi Shore. Welcome back to Swing the Torah. We're learning Parsha Shoftim today, and we have an incredible teaching from the Or Gedalia, and he's going to bring down the Shlah HaKodesh. It's really an amazing idea that he brings down here. So the Shlah HaKodesh, he says in his Sefer Derech Chaim, he quotes the pasuk from the Parsha. He says, Shoftim v'shotrim titein lecha b'chol sharecha. So it says that judges and like policemen or like law, officers of the court, law enforcement officers, you will give in all your gates. So he says that it explains in the Sefer Yetzirah, it says that deha nekavim sheba'adam nikraim sharim, that the openings in a person, they're called gates. So meaning a person's eyes and a person's nose, a person's ears, a person's mouth, these are called the gates of a person. So it says, V'zehu shamar hagasuv she yishpod hadam es atzmo v'yasgiach tamid shelo tiyeh shum aveira b'echad min hamakomos. And that he's saying that a person should judge, he should rule over, he should judge himself, and he should continually control himself, that there should not be any avera that comes from any of these places. So a person saying that, like through our eyes, we should use our eyes to see the good in other people. We should look at our family and friends around us, our co-workers, and we should strive to see the good in them. And we should judge everyone with an ayin tov, like a good eye. And we can use our eyes to absorb like the words of the Torah. We can learn Torah and we can fill ourselves with the wisdom of the Torah. We can use, our ears. We don't want to hear lashon hara. We don't want to hear evil talk. And unfortunately, we see in the news media they're just trying to get you to hate this political group or that political group. And we really want to hear like beautiful words of Torah. We want to hear music that's uplifting and elevates our neshamas, elevates our soul. And we want to feel, these things. And we want to speak. We want to speak, lashon hatov. We want to speak good things. We want to uplift people with our words. We want to speak beautiful words of Torah filled with wisdom, and we can use our speech to uplift people, to bring kindness to other people, and to uplift this world. And we want to use these sharecha, we want to use these gates that we possess. We want to use them for the good. So it says that yishpot b'seichel, that a person should judge with intelligence, with his intellect, and the shechai hamoach shalit al halev, and that the moach, that his brain, his intellect, should rule over his heart, should rule over his emotions. So we want to use our intellect, and we want to control our emotions, not let our emotions overwhelm us and take control. That we should rule over our emotions. And it says there is explained what is this shotrim, what is these police officers, the officers of the court, that even at times when we don't have a yeshuv hadas, we don't have a tranquil mindset, or our minds are all like chaotic and it's not settled, that in those times we should motivate ourselves to do what we need to do. And there's two aspects to Matan Torah. There's two aspects to when we receive the Torah at Har Sinai and Mount Sinai. It says that we said Nasa v'nishma. So what does that mean? So it means we will do and we will hear. So what does it mean we will do? So first we'll follow the Torah. So how can we possibly say that without learning what the Torah is? But what happened is the Jewish people had so much emunah, so much belief and trust in Hashem. After we saw that, after all these many years of slavery, we saw the miraculous, supernatural way that Hashem, led us to freedom from Egypt, and we saw the miraculous splitting of the Yam Suf, the splitting of the Red Sea, and we had so much trust and emunah on Hashem that we knew that the Torah would be good. So first we said Nasa, and then Nishma, we will listen, we will learn it. We had trust in Hashem that we'll do the Torah and then we'll learn it. So a person should rule with his intellect and to receive the Torah and the mitzvos, and then also like Hashem overturn the mountain like a gigis, like a barrel, like a wine barrel. The mountain was over us, and we're kind of like forced to accept the Torah. So we are forced to accept the Torah even we can not even understand yet the pleasantness and the beauty of the Torah. We first accepted from our intellect because we had emunah of Hashem, how He rescued us from Egypt, and we were kind of forced to, before we had a full sense of the pleasantness, the ne'ima, the beautiful, the beautiful pleasure of the Torah. So then it says that we need to always be following the Torah in any time and in any situation. So, like it also says, like he goes on when the Or Gedalia on Shavuos, on the holiday Shavuos. So it says, well, what does this mean? Like we were forced to keep the Torah. What's the answer to all this? So he's saying the intention is, we say in the month of Elul, Chodesh Elul, and there's the Tehillim. It's Tehillim. It looks like Kaf Zion, Psalm 27, written by David HaMelech. And David HaMelech, King David, he says, "Shifti bebeis Hashem kol yemei chaya," that I should live, I should dwell in the house of Hashem all of my days. So what does that mean exactly? What was King David saying? So he's saying that he wanted from Hashem that he would, no matter what this situation would be, that he would be living in the house of Hashem. So what does this mean? It means in a situation where it was or low, where it was good for him, the light was shining on him. Meaning in a situation where he was receiving bracha and blessing, that he should remember Hashem, he should be living in Hashem's house. And even when the light wasn't shining on him, even when he was in a Yisurim, and he was experiencing pain and distress and all kinds of obstacles were coming his way, even then he would be living in the house of Hashem. So what does this mean? So it means that he would be living in the house of Hashem anytime, all the days of his life. Even sometimes when the days were good, and even those bad days, he would still be living in the house of Hashem. And in the end, the pasuk it says, "L'chazot b'noam Hashem." And then he will see, if he's living in Hashem, if he is shifti bebeis Hashem kol yemei chaya, if all the days of his life he's living in the house of Hashem, then he will l'chatzos b'noam Hashem. Then he will come to see the delight, the beauty, and the pleasantness of Hashem. And this is, and then he says further, levaker beheichalo, to contemplate, to request in His holy temple. So we see that all the days of our life, no matter what's going on, the good or the bad, if we're shifty b'beis Hashem, if we're always living with Hashem, if we feel Hashem's presence, then we'll come to see the beauty and the pleasantness of the Torah. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Beautiful thought from the Shlah HaKodesh, brought down by the Or Gedalia. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you back again soon on Sweet Good Torah.